What is up, everyone? My name is Jesse, and this is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is a request for Xansis. This is Bravely Default. It's been a long time since I checked out Bravely Default. This is a double feature. I'm going to be checking out two videos from the same song. The song is called Conflict's Chime. And let's get right into it. I'm not sure who composes. I'm going to guess Revo from the other ones that I've done, but who knows. I'm just excited for more Bravely Default. It's been a while, and this is a huge series and a lot of fans of this game. Let's go. It's got to be a battle song. A lot of forward momentum, a lot of energy in this one. Guitars are there, but very faint. The horns are definitely up in front. It's so odd hearing horns like this with these fast drums underneath. It sounds like mariachi meets metal. Oh, very quick solos, very to the point leads. So catchy, it's already in my head. Is that it? Oh. Little shift. Ooh. This reminds me of a Street Fighter 4 song a lot. Sick melody. God, it's so musically impressive. It's all real instruments. Whew. I can't tell when the solo is starting or if it's all like a giant solo. Ooh, again, see, same with the horns. Fast drums, crazy energy, calm piano. Duet. All over the place. Okay. Round 2. This is Bravely Default Flying Fairy. Same song. A little shorter though. What the hell did we just listen to? Oh wow, this one is definitely mixed a little better. I don't know if it's newer or older. I wonder if this image is related. It really does sound like mariachi meets heavy metal. Again, real instruments. Sounds like the same performers. It doesn't sound too much different though. I'm trying to see if any noticeable differences. Has almost like a Revo stamp of approval. Hopefully it's him and I'm not sounding weird right now. But I think it's him. Time to hydrate. Okay, I'm not sure which one came first or what have you. This one just says Bravely Default Flying Fairy. Well, those two like sounded identical to me. I didn't really hear any difference really besides like sound quality. Nothing really stood out. But if anything, we just got like an extra 2 minutes of listening to it. But I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought they were usually when I hear back-to-back stuff, they're like quite significantly different or some remix or something. Those sounded like an extension of each other. But disregarding that, this definitely has like battle theme written all over it. I'm not sure if this is an RPG, but seeing that it's Square Enix, I'm going to take a guess that it is, especially since I see a party. Yeah, definitely battle vibes. Also, it's called Conflict's Chime. So I'm not sure if I've heard any regular music in this game or if all the music is like that. But most of the music I've heard from Bravely Default has been this kind of energetic metal type of thing. So maybe I've only heard battle music, but they do it well. It doesn't sound like anything else, like Square. It does remind me a little bit of like Xenoblade stuff, except if it is Revo, I'm sorry if it isn't, but if it is, I can kind of tell it's him. He's got kind of just this swing, you know. I've seen the guy pull out an accordion, and obviously there's trumpets here, so it sounds like a lot going on, and there's a lot of creativity here. So the thing is, I'm trying to see if this is like a regular battle theme or maybe a significant one, like a really big one, because it's carried over through another game. I don't know if that's common. I've only played like 2 or 3 RPGs in my life, so I don't know if it's. But from the games I've played, the battle themes don't really like carry over. They just get new ones. So I don't know if this is kind of like a staple song or if it's like a returning boss. That's why I ask. So, anyways, yeah. So when I said mariachi, obviously that's like the music of the Mexican people with the amazing suits and the sombreros and the trumpets and all that. And that's what it sounded like. If you took away all the drums, took away everything, just it would literally sound like a mariachi song. Bum, ba, bum, bum. But the fact that I was hearing that with pianos and all this with like really fast, heavy drums in the background, it's like hearing 2 worlds collide. And it's like, you know, the Western world and the Eastern world, and it's just that's the thing I was thinking of the most. I'm like, what is this clash of sounds that you would never really hear otherwise? And I usually get lost in these kind of songs in a good way. Like I'll just kind of like drift away, and instead of like necessarily like moving my head or something to the music, I'm more like, I've never heard of this before. You know, then I start getting into my own head and I start thinking a lot. I'm like, you would never hear, when in your life would you hear this collaboration of sounds, you know what I mean? So this is kind of like the reason I like praise VGM so much, and why I always listened to it growing up, is because I knew that I always heard these odd sounds in weird places that just don't belong, because that's the way, and like when I hear sounds that I like, my brain is always like, oh, what if these two, like, you know what I mean? So it's like it's kind of like my dreams coming to fruition when I hear these songs from VGM, that I'm just like, oh, so it does kind of exist. And there's still so much more. There's still so much more that like has yet to be discovered or clashed together, and it's not all gonna sound good, but you know, as long as people try, that is great. This song is kind of wild all over the place. It shifts a lot. The key stays the same. Time signatures, I'm pretty sure, was pretty much the same, but it just kept moving. I don't know what repeated. I felt like some things repeated, but it just felt like a kind of like a gigantic mess of riffs, kind of plastered everywhere. I guess you'd have to hear it a lot, so you can kind of know where the loops or. But even in those two, I was just like, wait, what's coming up next? What's coming up next? I know they slowed down a bit and did this, but it was just kind of like all over the place, very chaotic. But there was one part that really stuck out to me, and I mentioned it earlier. It sounded like Adon's theme from Street Fighter, specifically Street Fighter 4. Maybe you know what? I'll probably have it playing in the background as I'm talking. But there was a section in the middle where it sounded really, really cool. It was like the highlight. Didn't sound like anything else in the song, so it kind of stood out. But it has kind of this very similar riff as to Adon's theme, and I hope Adon comes back in Street Fighter 6. But anyways, yeah, Bravely Default is a treat, and in fact, if I recall correctly, the first thing I ever saw or heard from Bravely Default was a live video of Serpent eating the ground, I think. So my introduction was a live video, and I saw that energy right away, and I don't know, man. Like, if those people are behind it, or at least the person I know is behind it, then I just feel like you can't really go wrong. I can almost safely say that this series probably has no bad tunes, or any tunes that you get bored of, at least. I feel like it's all really just sick. Because, I mean, everything I've heard has been kind of like a home run. Bravely Default. I just remembered. I used to call it Bravely Default, and I felt like a noob. And people were like, "What are you calling it that for?" That's because I'm dyslexic. I'm not, but I thought there was an R before. Anyways, if you want to make a request, you can do so on Patreon or PayPal. Either are totally fine. And those are the guaranteed ways I will check out your song if you do not mind waiting. If you do not want to wait, there is the Platinum tier on Patreon, which expedites your request to the very top. A big thank you to my current supporters, Justin, Kevin, Moon Knight, DJ Singletone, Your Average Metalhead, and Mushi Mary for being a part of that. Thank you so much. And I will see you, dudes and dudettes, in the next one. Take it easy.